¿Cómo andas, querido? Bienvenido.
Muy bien, acá andamos a las corridas, pero bien.
Fin de año, ¿no? Siendo
Sí,
padre,
muy
escribiendo.
diciembre.
Es increíble la cantidad de cosas que haces. Contame un poquito, me comentaron que venía el libro Cuentos 2. Ya que
En
estamos.
eso estábamos. Sí, 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 sí. Mi idea era terminarlo este año, pero la verdad que no tuve tiempo. Además pasaron tantas cosas. Ahora se sumó lo de lo coco
Ah, lo de Papo,
ganando en
inmenso.
Bahamas. O
Y-
sea, ya tenía un cuento planeado de lo coco con la mesa final en el main event, ¿no? Contando toda esa historia, cuando empezó rapeando en los colectivos y todo, porque todos los cuentos que se ven en el 2 van a pasar en Las Vegas. Pero ahora esto que pasó en Bahamas, vamos a ver cómo voy a tratar de
Claro,
meterlo
pateó
también.
el tablero el chabón. O sea,
Sí,
la
no
rompió
le iba a
toda.
jugar. Ni siquiera le iba a jugar. Iba a ir a Praga a jugar y Adrián Mateos lo convenció, le compraron porcentaje, fue y lo ganó. Una locura
No, y
total
además,
lo del
¿cómo lo
Papo.
ganó? Los
Sí.
arruinó.
No, no, no. Lo que fue increíble cuando quedaban 3 4 jugadores que estaba con el 70% de las fichas. Y se da una situación de ICM tremenda porque había, bueno, Coco con el 70% de las fichas, uno muy corto y otro más o menos. Entonces Papo iba a Olin todos los tiros porque no podía quedarse eliminado el que estaba en el medio. O sea, era un
Claro, el pay
gravísimo
jump,
error que le
el salto
costaba.
era.
Exacto, un millón, o no más, creo, 2,5 millones de dólares. Entonces podía darse el lujo de ir all hasta sin ver las cartas.
No, y
Increíble,
encima
esas
Papo
cosas
lo
que
que
pasan en el
tiene.
póker.
Yo jugué con él y cambia mucho el juego a cada rato. Entonces por ahí se pone
Sí.
tight y por ahí casi nunca juega tight. Él juega muy agresivo, pero es muy difícil saber lo que tiene. Y nada, cuando jugó contra la Elite, ellos no sabían cómo jugaba. Algunos sabría, pero los volvió locos.
Creo que fue el torneo ideal para él, además porque la mitad del field era empresarios, VIPs, amateurs, y él fue en ese grupo de jugadores. Entonces jugó el día uno con todos esos, pudo hacer fichas y recién se juntó con los pros en el día 2. Hay una dinámica muy interesante ahí. Y no lo conocen tanto a Papo, porque era su primer Triton. O sea, Papo juega el circuito, todo, el EPT, pero son fields más grandes, ¿no? El main event te cruzás con los pros recién en el día 5
Y si
6.
te
Entonces
cruzás.
acá, claro, y si te cruzás con uno, con suerte. Acá fue muy loco y yo creo que aprovechó muy bien la imagen que tenía. Hizo foldear unas manos increíbles.
Sí, la das
Y a mí
rey
la
me
mano que
encantó,
más,
boludo. Era como un gol de Messi, boludo. Se
no,
vivió.
la que me sorprendió muchísimo fue contra la de Miquita, no sé si la viste, a 7 de cobros. Quedaban 24 jugadores, cobraban 17. Y termina yendo Link con un double gutshot.
Es el de
Y
DJ,
Miquita,
¿no?
claro,
El
exacto,
que
Miquita
tiene a
tenía
Rey.
rey, top pair, top kicker, y se agarraba la cabeza, ¿viste? Porque si perdía la mano, perdía el 70% de su stack. Y tenía los dos stacks saludables para entrar en cobros tranquilamente. Entonces
Y qué
lo
cobro,
puso
no era un
en una
torneo de 1000.
decisión. Claro, exacto. Ya el Mincash era un montonazo, tal cual. Pues un torneo estamos hablando de $500.000 la entrada, ¿no?
Sí, 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 sí.
Pero ahí vemos claramente que Papo no le tiene miedo a nada. Bueno, ya lo habíamos visto en el main event con la mano que se va contra el Demir, que no le tiene miedo a
Nada, no
nada.
le
Ahí
tiembla la
Papo.
mano. No, no, y que eso lo hace muy difícil de enfrentar, porque uno por ahí lo ve acá, nada, ahí pago. ¿Qué vas a pagar? Estando
Claro, hay
cerca
que
de
estar ahí.
cobro.
Es muy fácil viendo las cartas, ¿no? Viendo el streaming. Hay que estar ahí. La verdad tiene una gran virtud que es traslada muy bien la presión al otro, me parece, ¿no? Y cuando hace fichas, las aprovecha bárbaro las
Que
fichas
piense el
que
otro,
tiene.
¿no? Boyolini que piense el otro.
Exacto, sí, le traslada totalmente la presión y esa mano se hizo viral en Twitter porque la gente no podía creer, primero, lo que hizo y segundo, el fold de Miquita, ¿no? Que tiene una mano fuerte, pero,
Encima no tarda
viste,
tanto le metió una presión brutal, porque no es que el tipo. Medio que
Claro,
foldea.
fue una overbet total después el Olin. Y ponele que le pagaba, tenía ahí sus saliditas ahí con la doble carta ahí para escalera, ¿no? En el caso del peor de los casos, quizá lo salvaba al River, hay que ver. Pero no le tembló la mano y fue Olin muy cerca de la burbuja. Creo que pocos jugadores son capaces de hacer eso.
Ah, sí, sí, no, igual hubo un montón. Bueno, esto tenemos un tema para charlar. Ojalá que lo podamos entrevistar. Bueno, ahora va a estar difícil para entrevistarlo a Papo,
Y
pero
ahora va a
acá lo
estar, sí,
admiramos un montón.
va a estar con la agenda llena. Pero,
Sí.
¿quién te dice? Quizás para el 2025, en una de
Y
esas.
pero como viene va a seguir metiendo, así que va a estar cada vez más difícil.
Yo creo que ahora que le gustó, le entró el gustito a Triton. A mí me parece que va a empezar a jugar Triton el año que viene. No sé si todas las paradas, pero lo veo jugando alguna que otra etapa.
Bueno, y hablando un poquito del que se viene ahora, que para mí es una locura entrevistar a Patrick.
Sí,
Estaba leyendo
qué,
lo que había
qué,
ganado y
qué
no podía
honor, ¿eh?
creer.
Sí, bueno, a ver, para los que están más o menos distraídos y por ahí lo conocen el nombre, ¿no? Pats 1611, el nick, lleva ganados 20 millones de dólares online, que lo pone décimo en el ranking de Poker Stake, que es como el Hendon Mob, pero del póker online. Bueno, él está décimo en el All Time Only List. Una locura total. Tiene 10 títulos de W Cup. 8 del S Cup, ganó Titans, ganó, bueno, jugando de todo. Estaba viendo acá los cobros que tiene por 6 cifras.
Hay uno que tiene 1.6, ¿no?
Ese es el cobro, ese es el más alto que tiene,
Qué
exacto.
locura,
Quedó segundo en un evento de GG Poker de WSOP Circuit, en un high roller de 25K por 1.6 millones. Y después tiene bombazos de 540K. Está lo cuarto en el GG Millions de 10K, que hoy por ahí es considerado el torneo más prestigioso y duro, ¿no? Porque es el que juegan todos los pros. De 200K, 300K, tiene bombazos de todos los colores. La verdad que es una leyenda.
3 en Vegas, 3 seguidos. 3 high rollers.
Sí, eso le vamos a preguntar. Bueno, eso es en vivo, ojo, que todo esto que estamos nombrando acá era online. Eso fue su mejor racha online, que ganó 3 high rollers de 25K en 4 días.
Sí,
una locura. Así
boludo.
que ahora vamos a ver que nos cuente qué pasó ahí. Porque además, por lo que estuve viendo, pasó también creo que fue una mala experiencia en el main event y medio que se recuperó con eso. Así que le vamos a preguntar a ver si fue realmente así. Pero la verdad que tiene un carrerón. Ganó brazalete, tiene 6 mesas finales en la Serie Mundial. Ganó su brazalete en el 2023 con el Tag Team, con Espen Shortstad, ¿no?
Sí.
Exacto.
Que después gana el main event.
Que ese mismo año gana el main event, así que gran pareja que se eligió ahí. Se sacó la espina del brazalete, igual tiene 6 mesas finales, ¿no? Para demostrar que no es casualidad. Y este año llegó a 2 mesas finales. Así que está el segundo brazalete está al caer, me parece.
A mí me hizo acordar lo que decía Mati Gabrenja, que le mandamos un gran saludo, que esos jugadores que a veces la gente dice, no, ¿qué pasó? Que desapareció, que no está ganando. Bueno, a ver, son rachas, porque él cuenta que no le gustó mucho cuando, creo que en 20 EPT él no cobró, y como que no recibió tantos mensajes, y cuando empezó a ganar todo esto lo llenaron de mensajes y eso como que no le gustó mucho. Pero me acordé de esta frase de que claro, que a veces los jugadores son todos buenos, pero tienen años. Y ni hablar de una semana.
No. No, y además hay que meterle volumen, claramente, ¿no? Acá estamos hablando de malas rachas que pueden durar meses, y es verdad eso que el comentario ese que decía recién, en las malas rachas son pocos los que se acuerdan, y cuando uno gana algo, todo está en las felicitaciones, ¿no? Para pedir algo, manguear algo, pero las malas rachas son pocos los que se acuerdan, así que
Martínez, ¿no?
Otro tema interesante.
Que cuando salió campeón tenía un montón de cientos de llamadas perdidas, y cuando perdió tenía 3 o 4 y 3 eran de la mamá.
Exacto, nadie más, la única que se acuerda.
Pero bueno, nada, a ver, ahora en un ratito va a venir. Vamos a ver cómo
Bueno,
sale.
y gran fanático del fútbol, otro tema ahí lindo que tenemos para preguntarle, es bien, muy futbolero, invirtió en un club de fútbol.
Eso te iba a preguntar, no sé
Inglaterra.
si sigue con el equipo, pero bueno, calculo que es una pregunta.
Y bueno, vamos a ver. En el 2020 lo compró y estuve viendo el canal de YouTube que pasaban los partidos y todo, y subieron como 4 o 5 categorías, así que me interesa ver hasta dónde llegaron. Creo que jugaron la FA Cup, fue lo más grande
están a 10, ¿no?
que
a 10
jugaron.
estaban cuando lo compró. Estaban como medio...
Más o menos, y fueron subiendo posiciones, exactamente. Fueron subiendo de nivel, para hacerlo analogía pokeril. Pero sí, es un futbolero. Y él jugaba, y tengo entendido que cuando apenas arrancó le gustaba más jugar el fútbol que el póker. Porque decía que era muy lento el póker, le aburría.
Sí. Nada, es una locura la historia. Y yo, bueno, cuando estuve mirando, habían subido 2 o 3 divisiones. Así que seguramente...
Claro.
Bueno, yo calculo que
Sí, pero me intriga, ¿no? a ver si los va a ver, ¿viste? O están ahí las charlas técnicas. Me gusta, está bueno. No son tantos los jugadores que les guste el fútbol, pero bueno, se ve que en Inglaterra también lo viven con pasión al fútbol como nosotros, lo vemos. Los estadios de las Premier League siempre están abarrotados de gente y es una gran liga para ver.
Sí, hay muchos argentinos ahí, así que...
Sí,
imagino tendrá un jugador preferido acá.
Podemos preguntarle, a ver qué nos dice.
Y vos, querido, contame, porque te veo siempre escribiendo, cada 2 por 3 veo una nota, y digo, ¿cómo una nota? Escrito por Santi.
No, sí.
Lados.
Fue mi año más activo como periodista de póker, pero estoy escribiendo en 4 webs.
¿Querés nombrarla?
La verdad, bueno, estoy en Pokerlogia, donde, bueno, ahí voy y vengo, pero cuando pasa algún evento grande en Las Vegas, siempre me llaman para que esté. Ahora se está jugando el World Poker Tour, entonces estamos haciendo la cobertura, y ahí vuelvo a Pokerlogia. Cuando está la serie mundial, también estoy en Pokerlogia. Y después, durante todo el año, me encuentran en Gypsy Team, que es una web rusa, es como el 2+2 de Rusia, que es muy grande, y sacó la web el Natam, con Iván Smith, con
Hus,
Hus.
no, la rompe toda.
Exacto.
El otro día lo vi,
me
tiene una
llamó
publicidad.
para...
Ese tipo tiene algo de actor ahí escondido.
Sí, le gusta. No, está jugando él, metió algunos títulos en Madero, no, viene bien. Así que entre los dos estamos ahí con la web de Gypsy. Después en Car Player Lifestyle, que es una web de Estados Unidos conocida. Y Poker Red de España, donde hago muchas biografías de jugadores conocidos. Y hice la de Patrick Leonard, así que los invito a leerla si ponen Patrick
Sí, yo
Leonard,
la leí,
Poker
no
Red.
podía creer.
Ahí está bien completito toda la
A ver si la
info.
tengo.
Me gusta buscar toda la info de los jugadores, poner declaraciones, resultados, ¿no? Como para conocer bien Sí, después podemos poner el enlace ahí en el chat, así la gente la ve.
Mandamos saludos a la gente de Poker Red, que mañana tenemos con Educa Cruz, de paso tiro el chivo, mañana tenemos un
Bien
torneo de
ahí.
transmisión con Rob y Tina. Hoy haré el post después de la entrevista.
Sí,
Imagino que en
no,
4
genios.
minutos aparece.
Bueno, tranqui. Así que, bueno, y después estoy en Marca Póker con Luzavo los domingos también, que hablo cada vez más seguido con David. Así que a full, como verás, por suerte.
Estuviste en tiempo de póker.
Y estuvimos el miércoles pasado en Tiempo de Póker, lo pueden buscar en YouTube, ahí hablando con Coco Sil y Rodrigo Luzardi, y ahí estuvo bueno. Fue raro porque yo suelo entrevistar a jugadores.
Claro, que te
ellos
entrevisten
me
a vos.
entrevistaron a mí. Es raro, pero me gustó, me encantó. Y la verdad que pegamos muy buena onda y quieren que, ahora para el año que viene me quieren en el piso para que vaya de vuelta o hacer alguna sección. Vamos a ver si quedamos ahí como columnista en el programa, vamos a ver, sería un honor. Pero bueno, seguimos sumando trabajo pokeril.
Yo tuve el miércoles.
Pero bueno, yo feliz de la vida.
Yo tuve el miércoles grabando, así que el miércoles que viene me vas a ver ahí.
Bien ahí, ya está. Perfecto. ¿Sale el miércoles que viene?
Sí, presentación de embajador de Coin Poker. Así que nada, también la pasé muy bien.
¿Hiciste videollamada o
No, fui al piso, estuve con
espectacular.
Roy y con el Coco, que son unos fenómenos. También le agradecí porque no había programa, había desaparecido el póker en la tele, así que de tener un canal entero que transmitía póker todo el día, no tener nada, es como que... Nada,
sí, se extrañaba. Estuvo bueno que vuelva. Además tiene una sección muy copada ahí con Gonzalo Gottlieb, otro lector de mi libro como vos. Sí. Bueno, Coco tiene el libro, Rodri tiene el libro, Totovich tiene el libro.
Pero para que a Papo yo se lo llevé al libro, habría que preguntarle.
Sí, bueno, sí,
pero
no, hay que ver si lo leyó, estaría genial.
Bueno, entonces puede ser que el libro trae suerte.
Sí, eso seguro, pero todavía no en las redes del libro no puse como que era un lector nuestro porque no sé si lo leyó, lamentablemente. Me encantaría que sea uno de nuestros lectores, pero bueno, está bueno saber que lo tenga.
Lo que tiene Papo que ama el póker y eso traspasa la pantalla. Vos lo ves jugar online o en vivo y se nota que lo disfruta y eso hace que quiera competir.
No, ¿y sabés cuándo lo va a leer? El año que viene, cuando le mande su cuento. Ahí yo creo que le va a gustar y lo va a compartir. Pero
¿Esto es un adelanto? ¿Tenemos el cuento de Papo?
Esto es un adelanto. Sí, claro. Tenemos un cuento de Papo para el año que viene. Así que ahí se... Y estaba viendo que Papo, cuando le hicieron un documental de su historia de rapero, él la reaccionó en vivo en su canal de YouTube. Así que imagínate a Papo leyendo mi cuento en su canal de YouTube. Bueno, ¿por qué no? Vamos a soñar un poquito.
Se ocupa mucho con estas cosas. No sé, estoy hablando por hablar, ¿no? Pero me imagino que, no sé si lo leyó, pero que lo tiene seguro.
Sí, bueno, bien ahí. Así que bueno, como verás, a full, recontra cansado que se termine este año porque ya está muy estirado este año. No, y por suerte me voy mañana a la costa, desenchufar un poco la costa
argentina. Apagás el celu y ya está. Que ningún argentino meta nada.
No puedo pagar nada, estamos ahí cubriendo el WPT, no me puedo desenchufar del todo, pero sí un poquito de costa, de pies descalzos en la arena, que es necesario un poco, viste, desconectar del trabajo y la rutina diaria. Que es
medio poético te salió.
Claro, pero paz mental, viste, que necesitamos un poco. Y conectar también con la familia, que está bueno, ¿no? Porque uno con la rutina del colegio, todo, que las actividades, es como que uno no va medio con envión, ¿no? No sé si te parece a vos que sos padre. Y en cambio, cuando tenemos estos viajes en familia, es como que es más tiempo de calidad, ¿no te parece? Sí,
desconectás además, pues si no desconectás nunca. Y eso te iba a preguntar, Santi, hubo un tiempo que viajabas mucho a Vegas y después hubo un tiempo como que estuviste, no sé si decir fuera, pero como que paraste un poquito.
Sí, lo hice remoto,
¿no? Imagino.
Lamentablemente. Sí, esto tuvo que ver, después tuve problemas con el pasaporte español, que no tuve fechas para este año. Me pasó que no lo pude renovar a tiempo, así que no tenía el pasaporte español para entrar. Y lo acabo de renovar. Así
La cara de
que,
contento.
¿quién te dice que el año que viene vuelvo a Las Vegas? Estuve en el 2015, donde fui finalista del torneo de prensa. Ojo al piojo ahí.
Encima. Tenés
Eh,
que escribir sobre
eh,
vos.
es un torneo, le cuento para la gente que no sabe, que es con barra libre, periodistas de todo el mundo, juegan entre 80 y
Ahí
100
viene
periodistas,
Pats.
todos hablando en inglés, no, nos matamos de risa. Pero bueno, dale, después la
Ahí
seguimos.
viene Pats y voy a tener que reencuadrar, así que si querés mientras lo...
Dale.
Estas cosas no sé cómo automatizarlo, pero bueno.
Sí, bueno, hay que
Ya
hacerlo manual, no queda otra.
es parte de la prolijidad, de la desprolijidad. Nada, Pats además es muy divertido. Lo único que no vamos a poder aprovechar mucho la parte de... Vos capaz que sí. Yo no hago muchos chistes en inglés porque no... Siempre la idea es que se malinterprete, ¿viste?
Claro, que
Pero
lo entienda bien, ¿no?
claro, viste, él hace chiste, pero bueno, imagínate que a veces en español decís algo y se puede interpretar mal,
Claro, tal
imagínate.
cual. Sí.
Por ahora venimos
Cuando es muy
impolutos en eso.
cuando es más literal, sí, tal cual.
Bueno, me dijo que ahí venía. Nada, es más. Bueno, vamos a esperar.
Bueno, que Pats, le contamos a la gente que está, también le voy a preguntar a ver por qué eligió, está en Las Vegas Pats, pero bueno, tenía también
Sí.
la opción de Bahamas, de buscar otro brazalete, o Praga, el EPT de Praga, que tuvo récord en el main event, y eligió Las Vegas en esta guerra de diciembre que se repite por segundo año consecutivo, así
Hay un
que
montón de opciones ahora, es una locura la cantidad. Está bueno
es
eso.
tremendo, es tremendo. Y no nos olvidemos, el main event también tuvo récord de entradas este año, récord de
Uy,
jugadores, por segundo año consecutivo, así que gran momento del póker.
sí. Sí, la verdad que yo vi que estuvo jugando en vivo, no sé si querrá contar él, pero capaz que tenía como una mesita de él, ¿viste? Capaz que, bueno,
Estuvo jugando Cash ahí en el Bobby Room del Velasio, ¿no? La mesa épica, jugando con Nacho Barbero, estuvo
Sí, porque en un momento
jugando
puso,
y,
la
y
mesa estaba
varios
vacía
pros.
y a los 10 minutos estaba lleno y todas
Sí.
personalidades, no es que no estaba Facundo Gallo,
Y
estaban todos, estaba
juegan,
Nacho, todos cracks.
juegan hashtags, le contamos a la gente, para niveles altos, y juegan no solo Hold'em, sino que juegan mixed games. Pues o dealer's choice, ¿no? Donde el dealer elige qué modalidad jugar. Así que no es una mesita para cualquiera. Puede sentarse cualquiera, pero para que te
Pero
vaya bien hay que
para
saber.
durar ahí tenés que...
Exacto. Bueno, dicen que hay gente que como que quiere darse el lujo, va, se sienta con la caja mínima, juega una ronda y se va, ¿no? Como para decir, yo jugué en el Bobby Room, ¿viste? Que es como sacarse
Sí, a mí me
algo
gustaría,
pendiente.
pero no sé, que es como que hay que tener ahí en una banquita detrás, porque si te pelás 10
Nah,
lucas,
no tiene
me tengo que
sentido.
volver.
Para eso, con esa plata me voy a jugar el main event y dura un poquito más, ¿no? Con cierres de 2 horas por lo menos.
Sí. Bueno, Pat se perdió. Ayer me encanta porque algunas personalidades son. A veces me pasa a mí. A ver. ¿Para qué estoy teniendo problema con la cámara?
Ok. Vas a ver dónde estará, ¿no? Calculo que en la habitación del hotel de Las Vegas. Los
Sí, para
jugadores nómades.
que lo voy a ayudar. Parece que lo estamos ayudando. Mirá que bueno, puedo decir que lo ayudé a Patrick a entrar a una.
A un stream, a una.
Sí. Igual yo tengo. Esta época debe ser la mejor. A mí, yo en verano lo sufro. El calor lo sufro un montón. Pero en verano, yo me acuerdo que fui en el 2016 caminaba por la calle. Ahora salí a
¿En Las
fumar
Vegas decís?
en Las Vegas, sí. Yo la
Oh,
sufro un montón,
durísimo,
boludo. Como
durísimo.
que me cago de frío, me cago de calor, cago de frío, y como que.
Es muy loco, tenés que, a veces, y depende, cada poker room tiene su aire acondicionado distinto, algunos tenés que estar con el buzo y la capucha porque te morís de frío, otros no está tan bueno, es muy
Sí, viste que la
variable, es
gente
muy loco.
pone alguien que me traiga a la mesa tanto, un buzo,
Sí,
y ya me trajo tal, un frío
sí,
bárbaro.
sí, sí, sí. Después vos ves las fotos en el poker room y decís, están en Las Vegas, ¿qué hace con buzo y capucha? Y bueno, no, aquí hace un frío tremendo. Y estaba viendo que hay Pats metió ya 2 cobros en Las Vegas. Uno en el NAP, el North American Poker Tour, que salió
Sí.
31 en un side event. Y ya metió un cobro ahí en el WPT, un torneo de 800. Metió ahí un min cash por 1800. Así que ahí ya tiene su par de
¿Por qué
cajas
me
en,
mandó
en Las
un video?
Vegas.
¿Por qué? No le anda la cámara. Para ver, vamos a ayudarlo a
Sí.
configurarla. Bueno, algún día algo podía fallar, esto...
Y son los peligros del vivo, ¿viste? Es
Y
así,
bueno,
son los riesgos.
Podemos hacerlo por Discord, ¿no? ¿Vos tenés Discord, Santi?
Sí, sí, sí.
A ver. Para que lo llamo a él y te meto a vos. ¿Me puedes mandar un mensaje por Discord? Son cosas que pasan en vivo, muchachos. Es la primera vez que nos pasa igual. Decí que Santi tiene cancha y no se pone nervioso.
Nada.
A ver.
¿Te busco en Discord?
Sí,
Dale.
a ver. A ver si lo puedo llamar. Hola, Kimi. ¿Cómo andás, Kid Charlie? Estamos teniendo... Discord es perfecto, me dice. Bueno, a ver. A ver, para que te agrego vos. ¿Me escribiste ya?
No, espera que estoy abriendo.
Gracias por la paciencia. Igual me da tranquilidad que estés ahí, porque puedo hacer todo lo demás mientras alguien está hablando en inglés. Es very difficult. Bueno, vamos a tener que...
Diría Carlitos Tevez.
Sí.
Qué grande, Carlitos. Bueno, que jugó en Inglaterra, además, ¿no? Todo relacionado.
Para que... ¿Me escribís por Discord?
Sí, esperame que hace mucho que no entro y me están pidiendo.
No te preocupes.
Eres un bot, hace mucho que no te vemos.
¿Querés
Me están
pongamos, ya regresamos
pidiendo.
y lo ponemos? Un segundito.
Dale.
Welcome, brother. We have difficulties on the stream, but we are ready to go. You ready?
Nice. Yeah, good to go. Good to go.
Okay. So we start from the beginning, Patrick. First of all, we admire you, so we want to say welcome, and we want to know, how did you start playing poker?
How did I start? I started playing just with friends, as most people probably do. I was a soccer player, so on the weekend we couldn't go drinking or like party fiesta, so we used to play poker. And I remember my friends like laughing. They weren't really my friends; they were people I was trying to impress. Actually, it was like in school you kind of have your friends, then it's like the cool groups, and I was kind of like invited with the cool group to play poker. They thought I was like crazy. My nickname was like Crazy Pads. So they would like, I remember they were really rich and I wasn't rich at all. I used to work in a supermarket, so I would get paid like $4 an hour or something. In England, it's not much. And I remember like they would text me like, "Hey, like after work, would you eat like some tomato? Would you eat like a spicy sauce for like $50 or $20?" Like they saw me as this kind of like guy who would do crazy stuff that they didn't want to do, but I could be the entertainment. So they invited me one day to play poker, and they beat me, and they were like straight away. I think I had something like King 10 or King Queen, and I just thought it was a good hand, and the board was maybe like 4, 5, 6, 7, but I just kept calling because I had a king and a queen. And then afterwards, they were all kind of laughing, and I didn't like the idea that
But did you win
I
or
didn't like.
no?
No, no,
You-
no, I didn't win, and I had the idea that they were all laughing at me, and I was like, I don't like being this guy anymore, kind of thing. So I'm gonna come back and win. So then I think I went back. I would go back more and more often, and I would just start to win, and then you know how it is when you play with your friends and you take it seriously. They don't. It becomes a little bit easy. So would go to like the local casino and play it here, and then it was just that. Yeah, that's how it all kind of started for those guys, kind of like teasing me or whatever, or like using me as their entertainment. I used that as like motivation to like beat them at something, kind of thing.
So, do you realize at the beginning it was your thing? You say, I want...
No,
okay.
not really. No.
Okay. Santi?
And so you started playing in first live, and how you managed to get online, where you discovered 2+2, for example, that I know you start reading in the forum there.
Yes, I was I become like interested in poker, I guess. Like I would try to consume poker. Like I would watch. I had one very good friend, Aaron. He's still a very good friend. He works in poker actually, and our hobby became poker. So we enjoyed we didn't have money to play like high stakes or anything. We would just watch like high stakes poker, or we'd go on Full Tilt and watch like Rail Heaven. Rail Heaven was like this table on Full Tilt where people would go and watch, and people would always like just wait to see who would turn up. So we were very like poker fans first rather than players, I would say. We used to consume um as much content as possible, and from there, online kind of was where people would post. So we would watch, say, Tom Dwan play high stakes poker. Then he would post on 2+2. We heard this, and then we would go and like read his posts. Like on 2+2, there's like a search feature where you can read posts from like years before. So I wanted to like, kind of like see what these guys did when they were at my stage of my career, and I would read like every post they ever made of like people like Andrew Roble, Tom Dwan, people like this. Just become interested how they approached it, how they got good, what they had to do, how like how they went from basically playing with their friends to playing high stakes poker. That was my idea. Like, how can I get to say Bobby's room from playing with my friends for $1 kind of thing? So I kind of was just interested in the people behind the posts, I think.
It's crazy.
Excellent.
Yeah, but you start playing cash. Why
Yeah.
did you move to tournament? And I was a cash player, so for me it was weird to swap from cash to tournament. So can you tell me when
Yeah.
you changed you swap the modality? That does make sense.
We call it like the game type.
The
Virus
game time.
swaps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Game time. Yeah.
Yeah, I was working, so like cash games were easier to play like in the evening. Tournaments were difficult because they go so long. So cash games made more sense this way, and I would play at work for like an hour here or 30 minutes here. Like with tournaments, you can't do this, but I would like on my PC just like have a table open in the bottom right or something. So cash games were kind of easier for me to like sneakily play. Um, and then yeah, I loved cash games always. It was kind of I never played tournaments. I always like cash game players kind of looked down on tournament players. Like it was like, oh, like tournament players are terrible. We're like really good. That was always how it kind of was. So I never really wanted to play tournaments. I didn't want to be seen as a tournament player. I was going for Supernova Elite. This was maybe like
Yeah.
10 years ago, a little bit longer now. And then the year I went for Supernova Elite, PokerStars cancelled it, so it kind of messed it up a little bit. But I started playing tournaments that year. I went to a live poker tournament. It was in Dustle Dawn. I'm not sure. Rob Young, maybe you guys know him. He plays like
Yes, of
Triton.
course.
Yes, we do.
He has a casino in England, so he asked me to go, and I went for like a weekend, and I busted the tournament, and maybe I came like 20th. Like I cashed it. Then that was on Saturday. I woke up on Sunday, played some tournaments just because that's what everyone was kind of doing. And I won 3 tournaments. I think I won the Sunday warm up, which used to be really big back in the day. Sunday warm up used to be like 130,000 for first. It was
Wow.
big. Then I won like the Sunday Six Max, which was like every Sunday a Six Max tournament, for like 60K, I think. And then I won like the big 55 or the bigger 55 for like 50, I don't know, maybe 80K or something, all in the same day. And I was like, wow, this maybe it's okay. Actually, no, I still thought it was stupid. I thought like I was like, this is a stupid game, but whatever. I went back home, carried on Supernova Elite, because in Supernova Elite, if you lose your progress, you have to catch up a lot. You have to play 6 hours every day, but if you miss a week, you now have to play 8 hours to catch up. So I went home.
Insane.
Yeah, I would play Supernova Elite, and then the next Sunday came. It's like 1 week later, and I said, I'm not going to play tournaments. I'm just going to play cash games. But it's the anniversary Sunday Million. The anniversary. It's like it gets like it
Yeah,
used to
1
get
million for the
hundreds,
first, right? Something like that. Or
maybe even
A huge
more.
guarantee.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's like 100 million. I don't know. I can't remember. This
Yeah.
was long. This was when PokerStars was at the top. So I said, okay, I'm going to play cash games, and then the anniversary Sunday Million just like is one of my tables, and then I ended up final table in it, and I don't know, maybe I got like
Ninth.
150K or something like this. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I should play tournaments,
This is my
and
thing.
yeah, yeah. I didn't think I was very good. I just knew that other people were pretty bad. I didn't really know what I was doing because I was playing with 10 big blinds, right? Like I'm used to playing with 200 or 100 or 300. Like I used to play Zoom for Supernova Elite, and because I'd play such long sessions, I would always have like 1,000 big blinds on every table. It wouldn't mean I was up 10 buy-ins, but I was just very deep everywhere. So I wasn't used to playing, and I was very loose, very splashy. Like I had a rule that I never folded pocket pairs. So if it went raised, raised, I
That's a good
I would
rule.
just
Huh?
yeah. I still it's still kind of my rule, to be honest.
I'm
But
not folding.
no,
That's
if I
a
have
shirt.
pocket fours, if I falls and under the gun raises, under the gun plus one re-raises, and I am, on the button, I would just call. So like, but I was so deep, it was kind of okay. But then playing tournaments, you have to be more careful because people
Yeah.
all in and now whatever. So I wasn't very good at tournaments at all. I just was very aggressive and loose, and the tournament players were the Americans were still playing at this point. So like they were very tight. You could just run them over, kind of thing. Pre-flop, they were very loose and aggressive, but if you went post flop, they were very, very tight. So my style just like ran them over a lot, and they didn't know who I was. If you're crazy, if you're someone like Michael Adamo, you can't bluff so much because people know you're going to bluff, they're going to call you. But because I was like a new face or a new name, nobody knew, for like 6 months, I could just play very, very aggressive, and people would just fold because they were playing as if I was the population, not that I was a high stakes regular. So for the first 6 months, my red line was just very easy to win, kind of thing.
Was going up.
Um,
Like up, right?
yeah, yeah, and it wasn't because I was playing so good. It was just because they were just folding all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
Hey, Pat,
Santi.
tell me about the ranking of Pocket Fives. You reached very fast to number one.
yeah,
That was like a good position to tell your parents, look, I'm something, I'm doing good in this game. That's helped you.
yeah. Well, this was the same year. So like after I had this first weekend, first Sunday, then second Sunday, I played another month, and then I got like a notification, something like you are number 50 in the UK or something like this. So I was like, oh, that's like quite cool. So I think I sent it to my parents, and they're like, oh wow, like 50 is good. And then when I realized that they kind of like liked that, or like they saw that as like being like some recognition, I was like, oh, that's interesting, because before we're playing a cash game player, I would never be in articles or
Yeah.
magazine or website. So they think I'm just like some gambler or something, right? So not every Monday the Pocket Fives would update. So I would love to go on every Monday. I would be now like 50 in the UK. Now I'm like 45. I would send it to my parents. Oh, like now I'm 45. Then it got to the point where my parents would message me like, oh, like what's the update this week? Like, where are you? So like they were kind of wanting to follow it. And then I remember I finally got to number one in the UK. And then they said, my uncle actually, which I don't really even speak to, never mind poker, he posted something like, today, number one in England, one day, number one in the world. And I remember like my mum like liked the message or something. It was on Facebook. And I
Means
was
a
like,
lot for
okay,
you.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep going. And then I knew that being number one in the world, going for it once would just be like, it would basically show my parents and like friends who I went to school, even these people that you remember all the way back at the start when we were talking about these people thinking that I was like a bit of a joke or crazy or whatever like this. Like it would
Mhm.
show these people who, now they were smart people in school and whatever, but now I'm making a lot more. Then I was making a lot more money than they were. Like now it's like I'm showing them that I'm serious. I'm not crazy. So
I'm not
yeah, I
doing
was.
more prop bets like that.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
still
calling with
doing
King
this.
Hyde.
I'm still drinking the sauce, but I'm getting paid 20,000, not $20. So
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and you are not losing.
And
um,
but they suddenly remove all those rankings today. What do you think of that?
yeah, it's crazy. I
It's
think
sad.
poker in general needs those kind of things. Whether it be being in the Olympics or being a sport or being recognized, and rankings are a very good way to do it. The ranking system they had in the end wasn't very good because if you play, say, GG Poker 10K and you
Yeah.
played 10 times and you're in for $100,000 and you come 12, or let's say you come 8 for, say, $65,000, you get so many points because the buy in is big and the prize pool is so big. But when we played, the biggest buy in we would ever play, like when I was number one, was like 215, 500. There was no big tournaments. Like,
Like
maybe
today.
the Super Tuesday. So it meant if you were at the top, you were very consistent. Now you can be a losing player and be number one because you get so many points. So the ranking system was quite bad. Like the ranking system used to be very, very good, but it was designed for 20 years ago and they didn't change the system for 20 years. So now I didn't even care about it at all anymore. Like it didn't matter. I didn't chase it or it didn't make me motivated, but still they shouldn't delete it because there's a lot of history in it too, you know, like all
Yeah.
the history was there. Like I would sometimes just go back on a random night and like look who was number one 10 years ago today and like look at the legends and stuff like this. Like it was fun. um so yeah, I think there should be a new ranking system. I just don't know how they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But I think it's good. Yeah.
But when you change like a game type, how you shaped your mentality to face the negative streaks, the
I
swings?
ran I ran really good. Like I
Okay.
ran so good. I didn't lose. Like I didn't lose for so long. And I remember like I remember I would like I had a blog on a few different places. And if I had like a losing session, like let's say at this point I'm up like 300,000, 400,000, or something, and if I lost like 3K or 4K, I would um I would post in the blog, "Oh my god, like ran so bad, this is unbelievable," and people were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, and
Yeah, you're winning everything.
I thought, I thought they were just like haters. I was like, "Oh, they don't know," and I had no idea about variance because I was just the variance I thought I was having was not variance. It was like almost good variance to be losing so little. Like now, if you have like a bad session and you lose a little bit, it's good. You know, like if you can minimize the losses, it's like a good thing. Then, like if I had small loss, I was like, how can I lose against these guys? But in tournaments, you just lose. Like it's how it is. So yeah, I didn't have negative variance for a long time. I was just running really, really good. Um, so yeah,
Makes sense.
and when it when it did when it did start to happen, it never really happened. I was very good at like controlling variance as well. Like I would never, because the buy-ins were quite small too, like it was hard to lose that much money, you know? Like it was hard to have too big of a dent. On a Sunday, you couldn't lose more than 10K for sure. It was like you could win big amounts because there was so many players, but you couldn't lose big amounts. So there wasn't really negative variance. Like from being 21 years old to being like 32, I think, I didn't go like 1 month where I had less money than the month before, you know, like, and this is seen as a good thing, but it's actually probably a bad thing. I should have probably been more aggressive in some ways, you know, like your bankroll shouldn't just go like this. It should be like up and down, taking shots so that you can go really high, you know, like for example, let's say that I had a different mentality and I was going up and down, up and down. Maybe I would have, you know, bought Bitcoin when it was $1, or maybe I would have played some huge super high roller and won, did like a feeder holds or something like this, you know. So I never had a losing month, and I never had less money than I had the month before. But I maybe didn't give myself the chance to, you know, like really like get crazy, crazy money, you know. So yeah, there's different ways to look at it, I guess.
It's a good moment to have Bitcoin though.
For now, yeah, for now.
Yeah, Santi.
Hey, Pat, how do you balance your personal life with all the demands of playing poker and all the volume with tournaments?
Yeah, I mean, I sacrifice a lot. I sacrifice a lot. I think I know where I'm going to be at different parts. I usually know where I'm going to be at different parts of my life, like different parts of the year. Like I know I'm going to be in Vancouver for Scoop, which is like a very important part of the year for me. I know I'm going to go to be in Vegas afterwards, and then I know I'm going to be for W Coop after that. And so those are like the three most important parts of the year for me. And I think it's nice to have this structure because it means I can like train towards each one of them. It means I can rest after each one of them. And then the rest of the year, I can kind of just decide to do whatever I want in terms of be wherever I want, whether it be Dubai or Paris or London or Vegas where I am now. It gives me a lot of flexibility to be wherever I want. So I have like strict parts of my life where I know I'm going to be in certain places. But the rest of the year, I actually have a lot of freedom. I can be kind of where I want, do what I want. But I definitely prioritize those big parts of the year over other things. Like if a friend has a wedding, I'm not going to go to it, you know? Or like if there's a birthday, I'm not going to go to it. I'm going to always prioritize the parts of the year, and people kind of know that. And maybe when I'm older, I'm going to regret it and wish that I didn't do that or something like this. But it gives me structure. It gives me something to work towards.
Routine.
And yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
What do you do to prevent emotions from affecting your decision making paths?
I think I would try to like find where the emotion comes from. So for example, like if I'm feeling angry about something, why am I angry? Is it because I'm losing money and I can't afford to pay the bills? Is it because I want people to um respect me more? Like, let's say I lose a tournament. Like, why does losing that tournament bother me? Because it's a tournament. You're supposed to lose it. Is it because I have I want people to see me as a good player? Is it because I need the money? Is it because I'm playing too high stakes and it's affecting me? Like, I try to find the reason what's making me angry and then understand it so that I can remove it. Like for example, if somebody just starts to get a massage at my table, then I'm gonna free bet them straight away because they probably don't want to bust this hand because they just got a massage. So like
Yeah.
if they fold to,
That's
if
a
they
good
fo-
idea.
yeah,
Or
if they fold a hand, if they fold a hand which normally they wouldn't fold, instead of them thinking like, why did I fold here? Like they should probably try to work out why. Okay, well the masseuse is here. This is why. Something like this. So yeah, I try to find the reason behind the emotion. I don't just like have emotion and be like, oh my God, I'm so angry, or like I don't want to do this. I try to find the reason behind it, and usually the reason can always be cured. You can like work out why the reason doesn't make sense. You can work out a way to fix the reason. So that's usually what I try to do. I don't really play with too much emotion. Maybe like I play cash games mostly now in Bellagio, and maybe I having a winning session and there's a big pot and I could say four bet a hand, but maybe I just call because it's nice to lock up a win. Like you go to meet your girlfriend after you play, like, oh, how did it go? I won. It's nice to say I won. So you can take like a slightly lower variance route sometimes, which isn't as profitable because it's nice sometimes to just lock up winning sessions. Like it's not necessarily it doesn't make too much sense from like an EV point of view, but from like a life happiness point of view, sometimes it's okay to sacrifice some EV to have happiness, because I live life not to have EV, but to have happiness, like I want to be happy. I don't want to be more rich or whatever. So yeah, sometimes it's okay that emotion can affect a decision. The emotion is just what's making you happy, which is a fine thing to do.
great. I won't
Mhm.
order a massage in front of you. It will bluff me.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck. Santi?
Hey, Patrick, if you could travel back in time, what would you say to the young Pats who start playing poker?
um I would say do everything for yourself. Don't do it for other people. Don't try to impress other people. Don't try to play a game. Like I think when you're in like a community, like a lot of people are in communities, whether it be like coaching community or like Discord or something like this, and usually you have like really good players who post a lot, and
Hmm.
then a lot of people try to be like a version of that player. So if that player like plays in a certain way, a lot of people try to be that player, and they end up just you're never going to be as good as that player at playing that style. Um, so you end up being like a bad version of that person rather than being like the best version of yourself. If you know that, like, let's say you have Michael Adamo in your community and you know that you want to play like him, but if you knew that you're never going to play as good as him, you're just going to be like a very bad version of him, you wouldn't try to play like him. It's better to find your own version and make yourself the best version of yourself. I think when we had Bitby in like 6 or 7 years ago, we had all the best players in the world, all the best coaches in the world. Michael Adamo coached for us, Fido Holtz, Kraft all these kind of guys, everyone you can imagine. And I ended up trying to not play like my style, which I'm very good at. I started playing their styles. I started like in game when I had a decision, I would hear something that they wrote, like or that they said, and like I would stop making decisions and playing hands in certain ways because that's how they would play it, or that's what they say. Where in reality, like I'm never gonna sure I might understand. Let's say they want to bet the flop in a certain way. But sure, and now I don't know how to play the turn or how to play the river, or like when I get raised on the flop, what do I do? I don't know all of these different things. All I know is that they want to bet the flop for a certain size, and whereas for me, when I bet my size, and I know how I'm going to react. I know how I'm going to play turns. I know which hands I need to do it with. So I really want to be. I really think that being the best version of yourself is way better than trying to copy some player that's better than you. You're just going to make your game go worse and not go better, I think. Yeah.
Amazing. Pat, what habit do you think changed your performance a lot?
What habit?
Yeah.
I think probably trying to learn to play lots of tables. It helped me a lot. I think I realized that like in poker you have like the goal is to make money, right? So like it comes from ROI times volume. So if your ROI is 100% in $100 tournament and you play one tournament, you make $100, right? If your ROI is 50% and you can play 4 tables, you make $200. So the guy who is twice as good as me, let's say I make 50% ROI and you make 100% ROI, even though you are twice as good a player as I am, I make twice as much money as you by playing the more tables. So I realized that quite early. So I realized that playing more tables is a skill. Like it's something you need to train. It's like half of the equation. You have ROI, then you have volume. Volume is just as important as ROI is, but most people they just study like how can I play? How can I get better? How can I make one big blind more win rate? How can I, make my big blind defense better? How can I bet the flop better? But these things are making such tiny things. If you can learn to play more tables and treat it as a skill, then this is making you way more money than technical things will make you. So for me, my habit was to always train to play more tables, try to push myself. Okay, today I'm going to try to play 15 tables. Next day I'm going to play 20, 25, whatever. And I tried to push myself in these ways where most people try to push themselves in maybe strategical ways. But I never understood why people didn't really go for the volume side because it's half of the profit is the volume kind of thing.
So for you,
So
it's like 25 tables. Sorry, Santi. I have to ask this.
No problem.
it
You play
depends.
25.
Like, no, I mean, for me, the sweet spot is to play like 20 would be like the sweet spot. But if I play 12, it's okay. If I play less than 12, I'm getting a bit bored. Like maybe I'm not feeling like I have as much decisions. I'm getting a little bit frustrated or antsy or something like this. If I have more than 25, I feel rushed. Like I feel my time banks are disappearing and stuff like this. So like 20 feels very, very nice for me. Like 5, 5, 5, 5. But the skill for me now is more like playing with concentration when I have less tables. That's where like that's where now the difficult part for me is. It's gone like the other way around. Um, so when I get down to maybe 6 tables, I usually pull up tables of other people in the tournament and make notes and whatever. But playing live poker is very difficult because I have one table and not
Too
many
slow.
hands.
Yeah, you should watch a
Yeah.
movie while you play.
No, if I watch a movie, they will kick me out. Like I play private games, so I need to I just have to play every single hand basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
you can fall. Santi?
yeah.
Okay, Pat, how do you study your game nowadays?
It depends. I usually will have like one topic that I'm really interested in for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I try to just think about this topic the whole time. I try to like work on this topic, do a lot of stuff around it, and get like very interested in a certain topic. So it might be like um, checking back the flop and then playing raises on the turn when the other guy bets. Something like try to find a part of the game tree which is a little bit undiscovered that people play badly and like find out ways where I can maybe explore and play a little bit different, a little bit ways where people aren't prepared for. Because a lot of people are prepared for most things, and I like to try to bring weapons to the table where people are not prepared for. They don't have the armor to defend against it. So I do a lot of node locking, like a lot of stuff where, okay, if this guy reacts in this way, what do I do? If he reacts in this way, what do I do? Um, I spent a lot of time, like the last 5 years, just studying the overall game, like every node. So in general, I don't really try to just like study big blind against button because I don't need to. Like I've studied it so much. I'd rather try to study some stuff that people haven't studied, like different kind of lines. Maybe something like instead of betting the flop with a hand which always bets a flop, maybe like check, 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 and then like have some different river sizings where he needs to play his range in lots of different ways on the turn, on the river. He needs to find check raises on the turn, check raises on the river. It's very tough for him to play against me if I start playing a more complex strategy, something like this. I find these things more interesting than just studying blind v blind or something like this.
Okay.
Great.
So, Pat, what advice would you give to a person starting poker from zero? Like a new one?
I would say probably don't start too low stakes. I think it's better to like, if you're going to spend, say, 10 hours, let's say you have like $20 to deposit on PokerStars or CoinPoker or GG or whichever site you play on. Instead of depositing the $20 and playing, and playing for 10 hours, I think just get a job for like $10 an hour or whatever, work 10 hours, get the $100 and use that instead, I think, because like at the very low stakes, it's not really poker. You can't really learn. It's not going to help your game in the future. Like if you play NL2, like for $2, you can win money because people are bad, but it's not helping you improve as a poker player. If you want to like be a poker player and learn and get better and better and better, it's no point to play. It's like, let's say I want to be a FIFA player. If I played FIFA against somebody who every time he got the ball, he just turned around, ran to his goal, and kicked the ball in his own goal, sure, I would win the game, but I'm not going to improve as a player on FIFA. And when you play NL2, you're playing against people who are just kicking the ball in their own goal. You're not playing against people who are trying to score goals against you. So I would try to get money somehow, work a little bit more, and save up and then play a little bit slightly higher where it's a little bit more serious. Yeah, I would say this.
Are you good playing FIFA?
No, I kick the ball in my own. I kick the ball in my own.
What team do you choose?
On FIFA, I would choose. I don't play, but I would choose
Okay.
now probably Real Madrid because Mbappe is so fast. So
And Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo? What do you prefer?
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Messi, yeah.
Ah,
Messi.
yes.
Yes. Santi, your question?
Okay. 7 years ago, you managed to win 3 high rollers in Las Vegas. Tell us about that hot strike you got there.
Yeah, it's actually weird. It was a very tough summer, so I don't think I cashed a single tournament that summer until this time, and there was 1 week before the main event, so if I go to a series, I play every day. I never miss anything. Like in Scoop and W Group, I play all day, every day, never ever miss. But this series went so bad that I flew back to England to see my girlfriend for like a week before the main event. Then I flew back afterwards, and I think I arrived, and then the next day I played the 25K and I won. And then it was the main event the next day after that. I think I bagged maybe chip lead in the main event too, or like very big stack, I remember. And then I played on the day off of the main event. Like you played
Yeah.
day 1A, then there's day 1B, day 1C, day 1D,
Mhm.
day 1E. I played this high roller again and I won it. So now I'd won 2 of them and came back for day 2 of the main event with a big stack. And then at the end, there's this thing called Bellagio Cup. It's finished now. It doesn't exist. It's like WPT. It has a lot of
10K.
runners. 10K, maybe 500 runners. And I remember I went with my friend who's a very funny guy, and we went together and we started, and I had 49,000 and he had 51,000. And I said to him, "Oh, let's swap, 10%." And he's like, "How much do you have?" And I said, "Oh, 49." He's like, "Oh, like I have 51. If you catch up, then sure." And then I double up like 10 minutes later, I have 100K. And I text him, "Oh, how much you have?" And he's like, "Oh, 35." And I'm like, "Okay."
You
And then I
pay
ended
up.
up. Then we went for dinner after the tournament, and he was happy for me, but he was sad for himself. I remember. But yeah, that week was interesting. I was playing the same as I was playing the whole summer before. I didn't change my strategy.
But
I
what
didn't
happened in
change
the
my
main event?
I probably bluffed it off somewhere. I don't know.
No.
Too long. Um, no, I think I got unlucky actually, but I wasn't complaining about luck. Um,
No.
so yeah, I was playing the same strategy, and earlier on in the month, people were saying things like, "Oh, you should stick to online poker and blah blah blah," and you shouldn't play live poker. And then the same people at the end of the month, when I win these tournaments, they were like, "Oh my God, you're so good," blah blah blah, and like it just showed me that people are. I shouldn't care about what people think. These people don't know
Yeah.
anything. Like, when they are telling me to stick to online, I was playing really good at live poker. And when they were telling me that, oh, now I'm playing amazing in live poker, I was playing just the same as I was. So like, I shouldn't let these people change my mind or change my mindset or make me feel happy or sad. Like, these people don't matter to me. The people who matter to me are the people who are closest to me. The people who are around me, like my friends, my family. And then for the next few years, I basically didn't really interact with many outside people. Like, I think I didn't. I played one tournament in the next year after this. After I win these three tournaments, usually, especially then, like 7 years ago, you would go on the tour. You would play EPTs, WPTs, go to circuits, go to Aussie Millions,
Yeah.
PCA, blah blah blah. I did nothing. I played one tournament in one year, in the next 1 year, because I didn't like the idea. I didn't like the people. I didn't like the all the people I just didn't like it. I would rather stay online, talk to European Elmerics every day online, and just stick with my people, basically. So it should have been like a really happy moment, and I made so much money, whatever, and I would normally go and play so much more stuff. But here, it was the opposite. It made me stop to play live poker. Really,
Oh,
I took the
Very
money
interesting.
and I leave. Yeah.
a lot of information. So we are going to switch a little. In 2020, you invested in the Newcastle Independent FC. That's the way to say
Mhm.
it. You invested
Yeah.
on the football team. Can you tell us about how is nowadays the on which division is?
Yeah, so I used to play for this team when I was like 16, 17, 18.
Mm.
So when I was a few years ago, I started a data company, like football data company, where we looked into like the best way to play certain ways, like stuff where the industry, like football industry, wasn't really looking into. Um, and we were called "Don't Shoot" because we worked out that shooting was very bad. Like, you shouldn't shoot. The chances to score when you shoot's very bad. You should try to like do what Messi does. Like dribble the ball into the goal, basically.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we made this company, and then it made sense to basically go to Newcastle Independent and try out some of the stuff. And some of my very close friends were there and stuff like this. So for a few years, I think we had 3 years. We were there, and we won the league every year, which was really good. And we were like doing things differently to what other people were doing that we were playing against. We had some different ideas, different things on like set pieces, like corners, stuff like this. We would do very, very different things, but it worked. It was very good. Um, and then I had an opportunity to go to a different team called #United. They're a very big team in England. They're similar kind of thing as Newcastle Independent. They're like starting from the bottom, but they have a ladies team and they have a big club, and they're very good, and they have hundreds of thousands of people who watch every game. It's very, very big. So I moved from Newcastle Independent basically and put my shares into #United, which is where I am now. And yeah, the project is very good. My team is Newcastle, right? I support Newcastle United. Like, that's my
Mhm.
father's team. And last year, the FA Cup, this tournament, it's
Yes, of
like
course.
Yes.
FA, our ladies team, we play in the final against Newcastle, which is my home team, and we beat them. So this was like a nice moment because yeah, to see the playing against the team I grew up supporting against, for our team to win the tournament, and then also to beat my team was like it was a nice feeling. And
Mixed
the
emotion,
men's
right?
team, not so emotional, but just good. Yeah, it was fun.
He looks
And
proud.
our men's team is very good. We have a lot of academy teams, and yeah, we're climbing, and eventually, hopefully, one day we'll be Premier League. But we'll see. We'll
We will
see.
go to see it.
But I enjoy it. it's more as a hobby, more like hobby. I invest a lot of money into it, but it's a hobby, I would say. Poker is still the first thing, the thing I do every day. Yeah.
So you go to the match
Okay.
and everything? And this is the last question of
Uh, if
football.
I'm in England, I would go, but I don't. I'm not in England so much. Maybe around Christmas, I will go to a game. Yeah.
Santi?
Okay. Well, going back to poker, tell us about your first bracelet in the tag team a couple of years ago. How do you choose to play with Espen? How that couple meet?
Yeah. So I'd never met Espen before. I'm very shy and very people probably don't realize it. Like when I'm on social media and stuff, I'm very loud, right? I'm very like Instagram stories and stuff. Like it seems like I'm very outgoing, but I'm actually very shy. Like I like to keep myself to myself. I'm very quiet. Like I've never shouted in my life. Like I've never screamed. So like I'm very calm, I'm very quiet, I'm very kind of just like I like to be by myself or with my close friends. But Espen reached out to me early on in the summer and he was like, let's go for dinner or lunch. And 99% of the time, I always say no to this kind of things because, like I said, I'm shy. I'd rather just be by myself kind of thing. But I went and we went for lunch and we got on very well. We became friends. And over the WSOP, we became like friends. We got on well. We didn't see each other so much or whatever, but we became friends. And Espen had like a tough time before this summer, so he was asking for like some advice on some stuff. Like,
Yeah, with
he's
Luna.
exactly. He was very
Yeah.
very rich, like with crypto, and then there was a huge crash with Luna. I had a lot of Luna too, and I think Nacho Barbera maybe
Yeah, yeah.
has
He
Yes.
like
told us on
Lost millions.
yeah, he told us
yeah,
on an interview.
exactly. So
Yeah.
so Nacho and Espen had like similar kind of thing, but Nacho maybe had some other stuff. Espen came into the series with not such a big bankroll, and also like for a mind to have lost so much money, it's tough. But he handled it very well, and he was very mature about it. And there was a tournament. It was 25K high roller, I think, and at the same time there was a 1K WSOP event, and the 25K high roller was really good. But Espen said, look, like I'd lost this money. I'm thinking about playing 25K, but actually I'm just gonna play the 1K. It's the responsible thing to do. And I kind of respected it because I thought it was like a sensible thing to do. Some people would maybe try to like chase back their money, like try to get back the money they lost in this high roller tournament, which was very good value. But he was very mature about it. So I respected that, and we kept on communicating because of that, I think. And then tag team came up, and I think I posted somewhere on Instagram like, "Hey, I'm going to play the tag team. Does anyone want to be my partner?" And I got a lot of messages, obviously, just from like different people. And Espen was one of the people, and then obviously I chose him because we were friends, and he was the best player who replied, and the person I liked the most. Like it just everything made sense. Uh, so I couldn't play the first day because I was playing some other tournament. I don't know. So
Yeah.
Espen played the first day, and he bagged, I don't know, maybe 2x starting stack, something like this. Then I played the second day, and Espen played like an area tournament or something. I think like he went to play somewhere else, and then day three we play together, both of us, like 50-50. Maybe I think I maybe played again because he was still in the tournament actually. And then at the end of the day, he came and played some of it with us. Then on the final table, we play 50-50. And it was a nice experience. It was a very nice experience. Yeah, it was a nice experience. It was very calm. It was very, yeah, we would speak strategy, but it was fun. Like we trusted. I know that when he sits down, he was going to be the best player, and he knew that when I sit down, I was going to be fine as well. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and there was a lot of crazy moments throughout the tournament. Like little weird things happened.
Weird thing.
You
Yeah,
folded jacks, I think, in a
And
hand
tense. And tense, I think.
against queens. I'm right.
yeah, I think I Espen was behind me at one point because we were kind of railing, and we play very different styles, Espen and I. Like for me, I'm trying to like hero fold and stuff like this, and Espen's like,
Yeah.
if I beat, like we should go with whatever theory is. So we had different styles, and
Polarized.
yeah, Yeah, and for this tournament, it's actually pretty good because at different stages of the tournament, you can put the different style in, you know? So I think, I can't remember what happened. Maybe I opened and someone went all in, or I opened and someone free bet. And I think I had tens, and I was like, this guy just has like aces or kings or queens or whatever. And I show Espen, like, I'm going to fold this. He's like, no,
And
don't, what are you
don't
doing?
fold.
Yeah.
And you were right.
because I'd show because I'd shown uh I had to show the table and then the guy showed us he had like whatever maybe queens.
Aces, I think.
Oh, he had aces maybe. Yeah. I
Yeah.
felt like he had aces. I think I said yeah. And
Right.
and Espen was like, oh, okay, this is crazy. And then there was a hand heads up where I was praying for him to fold. Espen, I was like, please fold. Like you have to fold here. It was basically like the guy raised to like 2 big blinds, and Espen made it like 8 big blinds, and then the guy made it like 25 big blinds out of like a
Oh.
50 big blind stack. So like he four bet like half of the stack, and I'm like, please, and
fold.
Espen's in the tank for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, what are you doing? Just fold, fold, and I'm on the rail with everyone. I'm like, he needs to fold here, and he ends up going all in, and the guy folds. The other guy folds. So
Ooh.
Espen was right, and this was like a very defining moment of our tournament because we pick up half of their stack, and
Yeah.
I would have folded probably, and Espen would have probably went all in when I had the tens, you know. So like we would have both played the spots differently, and we would have both probably it would have cost us. We probably wouldn't have won the tournament if I was in the seat when Espen went all in when I would have folded, and Espen would have probably busted in the hand where I folded the tens. So it's just weird how there's a lot of luck about who's in the seat at the right time,
Yeah.
you know. So everything just had to happen correctly for us to somehow win. But it was very fun. Yeah, it was very.
And tell me about the bracelet. It's like for you, it's like a dream came true, or you think maybe a W cup it's more prestigious and important than a bracelet? What do you think?
I don't care about any of it really. I feel like I see every day in WSOP somebody winning a tournament who's a bad poker player, you know. So for me, they don't mean too much because like there's so many of them. Like
Yes.
the
250 this year is a record.
I think more. How many you said?
250. 250.
Yeah, 250. 250 is a lot. Like
It's a lot.
like I've been playing poker now for say 15 years. This means there's like 3,000 more bracelets. So for me, it doesn't mean anything. Like these kind of things, if I win one, it feels good. You know, it's not like, oh my God, I hate this. Of course, it's a good experience, but it's not like a dream or goal or something like, I don't think in the next 5 years I want to win 5 bracelets.
I want
something
one,
like
though.
this. I don't think.
Can you borrow me one?
Yeah, if I win, I give the first one to my mum, the second one to my girlfriend, the third one to you, sure.
Okay.
But I think
I
more
take
to
it.
me, like success is more like about longevity. You know, like if I'm still playing the World Series in 15 years, to me that's successful because it means I managed to stay ahead of the curve. I managed to keep my money. I managed to keep my motivation. You know, like if I'm still here in 15 years, to me that would be successful. If I win 5 bracelets in the next 15 years, that's not success. You know, that's just, you know, the odds. Eventually I'm going to win more because that's how it works. There's so many of them, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it didn't feel too good. Like it didn't feel bad at all, but it didn't feel good. Like when I win like play of the series in W Coop or Scoob, this feels more like good. This is a goal. This is something I work towards. This is something where it's tough to do, where it's in my control, but it's also difficult, you know? These are like this is what I kind of like. Winning in one bracelet or winning one W Coop or winning one EPT, it doesn't mean anything really. Because like I say, the worst player in the world can win one. So it doesn't prove anything, I don't think. When Messi wins the World Cup, it means something, you know, like
Yeah.
It was
A lot for
yeah,
us.
a lot for us. Yeah. Before the next
When you-
question, I want to say I met Espen on Chitio Wizard Party, and he's a great guy, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
he is. We're good
So, brother,
friends.
what tips or routines could you offer for the Scoop and W Cup tournament season?
Yeah, I think going for the leaderboards is pretty good. Uh, and you can go for low ones, right? Like the low ones, the buy-ins are like very low. So if you play, $5 tournaments, you can play these and still compete in the leaderboard. The leaderboard's cool because the W Cube grind can become a little bit repetitive, a little bit of a grind. Like, if you lose a few days in a row, you're like, why am I doing this? But when you're doing the leaderboard, you're still like getting points, even like when it's not going well. So there's still like your session still means something. So I like the leaderboard stuff a lot. It also helps you learn the other games. Like I play all of the games now because of this, and we don't know where poker's going to be in 2 years or 5 years or 20 years. Like Hold'em can be solved, or they can be bots or whatever. But with a lot of the other games, you can't use a bot or cheat because there's so many cards. It's too complex. Um, so learning the other games, I think, can help you a lot in your career. It can help you if you want to play the World Series. Then playing these games is good because the field sizes are smaller. You can have more chance to have success or win a bracelet. If you want to play cash games, like right now, I just play mixed game cash games. That's what I play, and it gives me the opportunity to play them because I played them playing scoops and W coops. That's kind of how I got into them initially. So yeah, I would say use it as a way to maybe learn the other games at a cheap price. See which ones you kind of enjoy, and then the one you enjoy, try to take more seriously. um, yeah, in terms of W Cup overall, a scoop overall, um, yeah, I'd just say find out what works for you. Like I play like 20 tables all day, every day. I don't eat until I finish my session. So like I play off a full, fast, empty stomach. I listen to the same music on repeat for the entire 3 weeks.
Can we know which
So like
music
what
is?
it changes each time. So I just choose 5 songs and just play them on repeat each time different. Um, Usually it's like UK rap, like
Ah,
aggressive rap. Um,
you're
so yeah,
like a
I
cap, like.
exactly. So for me, it's very like I wouldn't recommend other people to do what I do, because like Espen, for example, he will play next to me like last year, and we are doing completely different things. Like he eats, 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 eats. I don't eat the entire time, like we are like doing very different things. Like it works. He shouldn't do what I do, and I shouldn't do what he does. It's just different. I would never tell him, "Hey, Espen, you should stop eating," and he would never tell me like you should eat. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. Santi?
Yes, Pat, we know we are in Las Vegas now. What reasons led you to choose Las Vegas instead of Bahamas and Prague?
Um, there's a few reasons. There's a few reasons. First reason being that I like to play the mixed game cash games here. In Bellagio, I play every day. So if I went to Prague or WP or Bahamas, I couldn't do that. Two, I own a place here in Vegas, so like I have my own place. I'm not in a hotel room, stuff like this. Um, Free. The people I want to spend time with, they're in Vegas. They're not in WPT, or they're not in Bahamas or Prague. Sorry. So like the people I want to be with, they're in Vegas as well. So yeah, just everything just made sense to be here. I actually haven't played. I think I've played one tournament since it started. I haven't really played much of it. I'll play the main event, but I'm not going to play much of WPT either. I'm just going to be playing the cash games instead.
Like a holidays for
Like,
you with friends and.
Um, I mean, I play all day, every day. I wouldn't say holidays. It's just I prefer cash games over tournaments. Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
and what do you think about this December war in between the three the circuits? It's good for the players. It's good for the industry. What do you think?
I would say it's bad, but all the numbers are very high. Like
Yeah.
the WPT have record numbers, Prague has record numbers, Bahamas has record numbers. So maybe they're all doing it right. Like they improve their numbers every year, each of them. Maybe WPT is going to have lower numbers this year because there's no guarantee.
Hmm.
So like I guess we have to see what happens after here. But I feel like it would be nice for them not to compete and to be at different times. But there's a lot of ego with a lot of companies. Like they want to be number one, and they don't mind losing money themselves if it costs the other companies too, which is a little bit. like this money could go to the players somehow, some other way. But yeah, I would rather it wasn't like this. I think January would be better for some of these tournaments, or February.
Yeah.
I think now that PokerStars just announced that Paris has been cancelled for February, so maybe they move Prague to February. I don't know. So yeah, we'll see. But I don't think it's good. I think it should be working together as a community, not against each other.
But talking about companies, yeah, you are the ambassador from Coin Poker.
Mhm.
It's matter a lot for you, Coin Poker. I saw you talking really good things. What do you think about the site and cryptos and everything?
Yeah, I think very good for lots of reasons. I think doing things in the right way, the right interests. I think stuff like this cash game challenge, the World Championship of Cash Games, stuff like this is what poker kind of needs. We kind of said it earlier, whether it be, the Olympics or ranking system or whatever. Like these cash game players, like the top 30 players in the world, probably 25 of them, the industry doesn't know. They don't know who they are. They haven't seen the screen names. They just play on all these sites. They take the money quietly and nobody knows them. Whereas when I started playing poker, like we spoke about watching high stakes poker, I knew every single player who played high stakes. I used to read their 2+2 posts. I used to watch them on Full Tilt. Like I was very interested. I started playing because I wanted to be like them. Like I was like, oh, if these guys can do it, why can I not do it too? And I feel like we have so many players in the world right now who make so much money and play poker professionally that nobody knows about. That the 20-year-old who lives in England now, he doesn't know about all these people who are so good and have made it up from playing for $2 all the way for playing for millions of dollars. So I feel like Coinbooker is doing a good job now of basically making the games like railable again, making them interesting again, like making people trying to make like heroes out of people again. I think that's like kind of an important thing. I think a lot of the reason why poker struggled in the last 5-10 years is a lot about regulation. Like if I try to deposit money in England on a site, sometimes you can deposit like $100 maximum. Like you play, like I remember during COVID, whenever you live in England and you lose like $5,000, you can't play the next day until GG have called you and asked you if you're okay. So I would wake up every morning to a call from GG saying, "Hi, like, are you lost again yesterday? Are you okay?" Like, it's very,
It's
it's
crazy,
very,
right?
it's
If I
Weird.
very,
can deposit more, I am okay.
yeah.
Let
Let
me
me play.
play.
Yeah, let me
Let me
play.
play. But I think it's important for players to be looked after, for there to be tools for like safety. Like we don't want people coming like losing their money and like this kind of stuff. But at the same time, there needs to be some kind of like freedom that you can play and that you can have more accessibility. Like I have a lot of friends who have a lot of money. Like they've made a lot of money in poker, and they can only deposit $200 on a poker site, even though they have $1 million in the bank or whatever. Like poker sites don't let them because of all these regulations. I feel like if someone has proof of funds, they should be able to play. They're poker players. Um, so yeah, I think coin poker can be very good with that. I think crypto in general is how the world's kind of going. So I think everything in the future will be very crypto heavy. So being the best poker crypto site makes a lot of sense. For there to be an option for people who want to deposit with crypto makes a lot of sense. Like right now, all of these tournaments are doing so well in Bahamas and wherever else. The reason is because of crypto. Like people have made a lot of money with crypto. A lot of poker players have had crypto for a long time. So if a site's not using crypto as an option, it's kind of crazy to me. And it is a recognized way of having money, and sites not having it is, to me, is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm waiting to
And
do a challenge versus you on Coin Poker, brother. So hope we can do
Oh,
something
feel free.
there.
What
I know you will win,
what
it
would
would
you
bro.
be
like?
a nice heads up.
No.
Yeah,
Heads
we
up,
can play
no.
it.
Can
Sit and
be,
go.
but I don't want to lose that fast.
No, we can. Well, for sure, we can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm always interested.
Santi, I lost
Okay,
on the
Pat.
question. Sorry.
No problem.
You
We're
choose.
in the last question, Pat. Thanks for your time. And talking about the future, I have like two short questions. What goals do you have to achieve in poker before you retire? And until what age do you imagine playing poker?
Yeah, interesting. I feel like I wouldn't play poker unless I felt like I could compete at the highest level. Like, I don't want to like drop down and just like be like a mid-stakes player in a casino who takes money off like drunk people. Like, I don't want it to get to that stage. I really like doing what I'm doing. I'd rather go into doing something else if I couldn't compete at the highest stakes. How long will that be? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people will have a lot of edge on me in certain ways where they can learn new things, and maybe like these new guys are going to have like communities where they're building ways to build good strategy. But I also am going to have experience. I think experience in poker is a big thing. Not just experience about playing, but about how to deal with losses, how to deal with winnings. A lot of people, they win a lot of money, but then maybe they lose it somehow, or maybe their hunger dies, or maybe they think they've done what they need to do, or maybe people lose, and then when they lose, it goes worse and worse and worse. I feel like I have a lot of experience reacting to winning and reacting to losing. So even if people maybe get better than me, maybe I can still use my mind or like my mindset to still compete. So I want to keep going and keep going and keep going, but hopefully I'm not going to be delusional and keep playing when I'm a losing player. I don't want that to happen. But I imagine at least for the next 5 years, I want to be at the very, very top, competing at the high stakes in tournaments. And for the next 10 years, I imagine I'm still going to play quite a lot, but maybe not as seriously. Maybe just like a bit more selective or something like this. Um, and yeah, maybe in the next 3 years, I will try to. I don't know. I always go back and forwards whether I want to go and like play, tritons and stuff like this, or whether I don't want to do it. I can never really make my mind up. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I could do it, but if I did that, it would make me sacrifice some other parts too. Like if I started to play tritons all the time, I would have to then not play W coops or scoops as much because they run at
Yeah.
the same times. And right now, I'm happy playing what I'm happy doing what I'm doing. Why do I want to be happier? Like I know that I'm happy. I know next year I'm going to be happy. Do I really need to chase to be more happy? I don't think so. So as long as I can keep enjoying it and it keeps going well, I'm just going to keep trying to just keep going kind of thing. Um, yeah, I don't want to put a sell by date when I'm going to finish, but we'll see.
On five
I want to
years,
be
your
honest.
Great.
team will be on the Premier, so you will be happier.
Yeah, exactly.
Your football
Exactly.
team. Okay, brother. We had a great time. We don't have more questions. Santi, do you have any more question?
No,
We-
maybe one last time.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
related to the other one. How do you imagine your life when you stop playing poker?
Oh
How you
God,
imagine maybe in 30 years?
30 years. I mean, will I be
that's
alive?
way,
30.
way too much.
I
20.
You
just
will be like 70, right? You are 34.
30, 35. Yeah,
He
30,
looks like
36
34.
this month. Yeah, 36 this month. I think I will. I think I'll be have a family. Um, have a lot of animals, a lot of dogs, maybe some kind of like
Giraffe.
rest. Yeah, something like that. But
In a
Giraffe? You say
farm.
giraffe?
Giraffe ganger.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe something similar to that, but a little bit different. But yeah, something along the lines of that. I think. Um, I don't know. I don't know how the world's going to be in 30 years. I'm not sure. Um, I think I'd like to kind of maybe end up being a teacher or something like this. I feel like maybe end up just like not working for money, just like maybe being like a school teacher or university teacher or having some kind of program. I feel very fortunate, very lucky. I feel like maybe being able to like pass things down to, I don't know, like kids who've struggled in certain ways, or maybe prisons. I find prisons really interesting. Hopefully, I'm not in prison, but it, maybe being in prison, like working as like a psychologist or something like this. Maybe I find all these things like rewarding or gratifying or like things I would enjoy. Um, so yeah, I feel like that would be maybe good.
Yeah, or maybe start the prison poker tour.
Yeah, maybe,
That's great.
maybe. Maybe there's already one. I think they
Yeah.
play in the prison already. So yeah,
Okay, but
maybe. But who knows?
I want to thank you. It was an amazing time. We will prepare our next question for the part two. Hope for
Cool,
the
of
next year.
course. Yeah, of course, anytime. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll see you guys on Coin Poker.
Yeah. You can see this on YouTube, so thanks, Pat, again.
Perfect.
And thank you,
Perfect.
Santi. It was an amazing
Thank you,
time.
Pat. We have a
See
great
you. Goodbye.
time.
You too. Goodbye.
Bueno, impresionante. Para que se me movió todo el encuadre. Para que te acomodas y te despedís como mereces. Increíble. Perdón, esta parte
Un
pasa
genio,
siempre. ¿Qué te pareció?
Un crack. La verdad, y interesante las cosas que nos dijo, ¿eh?
Sí, encima tuve que acomodar todo y medio... disculpen la desprolijidad, pero tuvimos que cambiar el programa, así que fue lo mejor que pues salió, por no haber salido. Así que bueno, chicos, gracias, Santi. Siempre un
Charlamos
placer
casi una
tenerlo acá.
hora. Un lujo escucharlo, Pat.
¿Viste? Dijo cosas que... Me llamó la atención eso que dijo que iba a dejar de jugar en vivo. Pero bueno, debe estar también... viaja todo el
No, y
tiempo.
muy interesante cómo nos contó que cuando ganó su mayor cobro y su racha de 3 títulos, hizo todo lo contrario de lo que haría la mayor gente, ¿no? En vez de seguir jugando y jugarse todo, dejó de jugar,
Sí,
se alejó. Él es feliz jugando online, claramente, me
Y
parece,
jugando
¿no?
Cash, ¿viste? Dijo.
Por eso no juega Triton. Él es feliz jugando el WQ, buscando ahí el ranking. Hace muchas apuestas con otros pros a ver quién llega más lejos. Creo que su felicidad va por ahí.
Sí, y compartir con amigos, ¿viste? Que él dijo que a él le gusta.
Sí.
Bueno, Santi, quiero agradecerte nuevamente. Siempre es un placer tenerte acá. Espero que... Bueno, calculo que en enero volvemos con alguna otra entrevista. Ya tengo ahí un par de nombres que no los puedo dar todavía, pero en cualquier momento volvemos.
¿Cómo no? Será un placer.
Gracias, Santi. Gracias, gente. Nos vemos.